This is a narrative of the fight. A cosmic game had been played for many years. A demon emperor and a brave warrior fought for supremacy on Earth. However, Velgrind, the Scorched Dragon, saw little value in such games. She wasn't interested, therefore it didn't matter who won. She considered it would be preferable to combat directly to choose the winner rather than participate in such tedious games. Despite their past clashes, Guy and Rudra's first-hand encounter was uncomfortable. That is why the game began, with only one rule: no direct confrontation. Even though she couldn't protest, Velgrind was dissatisfied with the game. Guy was unquestionably the most powerful demon lord, and her sister, the frost dragon Velzard, was the worst kind of opponent for Velgrind. They were natural adversaries, and winning a head-to-head battle would be tough. If Velzard and Velgrind battled, they would at best die together, and at worst, Velgrind would have to reincarnate. No, even that was an optimistic guess. Velgrind's attribute was heat. Velzard, on the other hand, possessed ice as an attribute. In other terms, they symbolized acceleration and deceleration. If the two fight really, the outcome will be devastating. Neither side would survive, and both would collapse. In other words, there was a good chance that none of them would survive. In such event, both would be reborn, but their existing identities would be erased. They would inherit memories yet become distinct persons. Velgrind was terrified of this. It didn't matter if she disappeared. She didn't want to lose her love for Rudra. Velgrind couldn't help but chuckle at herself for obsessing over such a frivolous emotion as love. A total victory was required for the protection of herself and Rudra. This is why she needed insurance. However, this insurance was tough to deal with. Isn't that man a real pain in the ass, though? It appears that he was fortunate enough to get unsealed, so why doesn't he come to say hello? Velgrind, unaware that she was much feared, became upset with her insurance Veldora. If this was the Veldora Velgrind knew, he would have already gone on a rampage throughout the planet. However, he appeared to have become close to the new demon ruler. When she learned that he had joined the Volpurgis, she believed that he had gone insane after being sealed for so long. She didn't expect Veldora, who enjoyed commotion, to remain mute in front of a million soldiers. That is why she felt confident he would emerge, but the outcome was unexpected. Even then, he remained concealed in the depths of the labyrinth, refusing to reveal himself. This was unexpected for Velgrind. That child does whatever he wants, so why didn't he come out this time? As with the last mission, Veldora disliked having his land invaded. It was assumed that a confrontation with Veldora would be unavoidable following the conquest of the Great Jura Forest. And it was just what Rudra desired. Individuals who surpassed their bounds were more essential to Rudra than a big army. Last time, the few who lived were successful in adapting. Surrounded by resentment, anxiety, and despair, only those who did not give up hope under such dire circumstances might break free from humanity's bonds and go to a higher world. Even if a million soldiers were defeated, it was still worthwhile if a few were woken. Rudra held this opinion, and Velgrind concurred. He did not reveal the full information from the intelligence because he wanted to excite the corps commanders by deceiving them. Velgrind found the corps commanders' confidence to be somewhat humorous. The likelihood of the proposal succeeding was small. Or, to put it another way, there was no chance. Veldora could not be defeated with a scientifically replenished army. As a result, many people would die this time around. Velgrind wonders how many will survive and awaken this time. The more individuals that are on the receiving end of Rudra's strength, the better the chances of victory. I'm looking forward to it. Velgrind believed this, but the expedition's unexpected outcome rendered him speechless. Is everything wiped out? I was startled too. It's been a while since I've seen that expression on your face. Please don't be joking. I did not foresee such a severe defeat that no one lived. In that scenario, we have failed in our quest to acquire those who have woken, allowing the generals to earn as much experience as possible before introducing at least one powerful creature into the Imperial Knights. The expedition's true objective was to extract awakened creatures from among them. Nonetheless, there were no survivors. It was a far worse story than if Veldora had annihilated them. Human evolution would only be possible if one could endure and experience the despair of touching a part of the world's most powerful force. Furthermore, it appeared that some Imperial Knights who had been integrated with the mission had all vanished. This was a waste of vital resources and a significant loss. Well, that's how it is, Rudra replied curtly. Velgrind was upset by this, but she stopped being furious as she gazed into Rudra's eyes. His eyes were filled with profound frustration. Velgrind knew Rudra felt the same way. So, Velgrind adjusted her mentality. The loss of a legion made little difference to Velgrind. It would have been a tremendous accomplishment if an enlightened individual had been born, but it didn't matter if they failed, as they did in this case. Having said that, they couldn't disregard the existence that had brought this about. If 1 million Imperial Army men were eliminated, the opponent's power could not be underestimated. They needed to know who did it. So, did that kid, Veldora, do it this time, too? Velgrind inquired, recovering her composure. Velgrind had entirely ignored Veldora's wrath. However, there were reports that Veldora had decimated Pharmus' army's 20,000 men. Previously, the Information Bureau had been unable to collect specific information, but this time was different. Everything should be known, and Velgrind, the marshal, will be notified shortly. Rudra's strength enabled him to discover the truth first. Velgrind waited for Rudra's response with tremendous confidence. Velgrind believed her crazy brother would use the chance to go on a rampage. She expected that if she assaulted with 1 million troops, Veldora would undoubtedly emerge. In such scenario, she intended to observe Veldora's power. Following those thoughts, she would be able to confirm whether he could regulate his Yuki sufficiently to make himself unnoticeable. Velgrind was overjoyed to see Veldora develop. Despite being a dumb younger brother, Veldora was a wonderful presence in Velgrind's life. He was also a nuisance. We can't allow him join Guy's side, and we must make him an ally in any case. Velgrind believed this and was constantly planning how to do it.